Hello, and welcome to Week 2 Squad v Squad for MGE. This week we will have Team Gravity face off against Mythical Magnums. This is our Week 2 of our 10-week-long season with these teams. Last week, both teams have competed for their first round of matches. Unfortunately, in the first series, both Gravity and Mythical Magnums took a loss. So one of these teams are going to come out with the win today, and I'm very excited to see very close matches out of both of them. They're both going to be very ferocious, trying to get their first win of the season. Also in this tournament, I do want to kind of bring out the balancing issues we do throughout the season. We have 3 ranks in MGE: Fire, Ghost, and Anchor. Ghost is our lowest ranking, kind of lower caliber players. Fires are for about our medium caliber players, and Anchors are our very strong players in the community. And we balance these teams out with 2 Anchors, 2 Fires, and 2 Ghosts. And each week we'll be mixing it up where each kind of week will have its own player base of maybe 1 Anchor limitations and one, maybe 1 Anchor allowed, maybe no Anchors allowed. So this week is going to be 1 Anchor max. So we will be seeing a Ghost player on both teams to kind of even this out. Our first match is going to be MGL Cryptic with King of the Hill settings. And this is your host, Dark Reaper 1337, along with my co-host here, MGE Savvybeard.
Hey guys.
So we are getting all the players set up in the lobby and ready to go. It seems that Mythical Magnums will have Goddess KR and Epic Dab, Derpman on Mixer, and MGE Hunden. And on Gravity, we're going to have Canadian Walrus, OG Snorts G Fuel, and Papa Venom. I'm wondering who is going to be on the other team of the 4th, and it's going to be Kratex, El Supreme Boss, will be joining us on this team. So it seems like Sly and Prophet Onyx will be sitting out from their team for anchor spots this week. Let's make some big hype in the chat. Come on, tweet the stream out. Get people to go, get viewers, tell your friends, families, get as many people as we can watching us. Let's hype this up. Let's have a lot of hype in the chat, guys. Come on. This is week 2. We're going to have another game later on today. And that's going to be Interstellar versus Incantus. But for right now, we're going to be focusing in on Mythical Magnums versus Gravity. And we are going to get this first game started. Both teams, I feel, is very warmed up and practiced throughout the week. We saw a lot of scrims going on, a lot of strategies. I know the coaches probably went back to each team, went over some stuff from last week. So I'm excited to see, what comes of these games. Do you have any initial predictions for this first match, Savvybeard?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think both these teams have scrimmed against each other this week. I know twice. One game one series Gravity won, and one series Mythical Magnums won. So it's kind of a toss-up. Like I don't really know who's gonna win this. I think it's just gonna come down to who plays better. But it looks like we had a little bit of a lag out. Kratex lagged out, or El Supreme Boss lagged out there. So hopefully we can get him back in and get the game started.
And that's just the Halo servers being the Halo servers. Everyone lags out at least once. I feel like we'll get this throughout this series. Hopefully not too much.
Yep, for sure. I don't know though. I think both teams have some strengths, both teams have some weaknesses, and if they've figured out how to play to their strengths, or whatever team figures out how to play to their strength is the team who's going to come out on top. But this map in particular, I think, is going to favor Mythical Magnums. I think they just have a better handle on this particular map. But I do know that Gravity practiced this map a little bit after they took that big loss in the first scrim this week. So we'll see what they do, but I think Mythical Magnums is probably going to come out on top on this game, but we'll see. Once we can finally get it started.
And we have another lag out on here.
Who was it this time?
Is it? Not sure what the breakdown there was, but
And neither was I. It looked fine, but obviously there's a reason.
well, third time's the charm. So hopefully we'll get this game going.
So what do you think's gonna happen this game?
I think this is going to be a really close game. I don't think this is either of the team's strongest game type nor best map. So it's definitely going to be a battle. It's going to really come down to which team practiced it during this week. This is one of the newer maps, and not many teams are familiar with how to play it just yet. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. Hopping on board with Papa Venom to start kicking this off, and everyone's going to be fighting for this OS.
Looks like Gravity's going to come away there with the first OS, so that's a big play from them, grabbing that first OS. I think it'll be up around, what, 52 or 3, if I remember right?
Yes.
So we'll be keeping an eye out for that to make sure we see that next OS grab, see who gets it. And I'm sure both the teams are going to be doing that as well.
And we had Papa Venom taken out in the hill. We're going to see if Hunden is able to stay alive. He does not. This is definitely a very heavy slay, and it seems like Dirtman will get in the hill for the first couple seconds to pull ahead. I want to stay on board with Hunden here, see what he is able to do.
Good little double melee there from Hunden.
One thing I have noticed early on with Gravity, they are getting 3 people in like around the hill, kind of supporting each other, but they're still a little slow on the rotation, and we do see Mythical Magnums do a little bit better job on the rotation for this first hill.
Yeah, they definitely got the setup there, but it was a little bit too late there. Definitely the right setup. I'm looking to see these teams get into these rooms where the hill's at and just look at the put their angles on the choke points, because almost every single room has 2 or 3, maybe 4 doors, depending on the room, that are choke points that are easy to watch. And that's exactly what Gravity's doing right now. They're doing a really good job with their setup there. You've got one in the hill, you've got a guy backing them up. They're covering every single angle of that room right now, and it's making it extremely hard for Mythical Magnums to get into that room and push for that hill. And I think they're just going to have to give that hill up this rotation and just start focusing on where the next hill is going to spawn.
I totally agree. It's definitely something that the Gravity team has locked down, and it's something Mythical Magnums just have to say, hey, we're not winning this fight, we're not winning this battle, we just got to give up the next hill and get a better setup. And that's something with the rotation that they need to really focus on.
Yep, for sure. And you can already see right here, obviously, Gravity is doing a really good job with power-ups right now. They're doing a really good job with setups. You can tell as soon as that hill moves, they all know where they're going to try to be in the room where the next hill is going to be. Like, you have, I didn't see if that was, you have Kratos right here just watching that door, making sure nobody jumps in, and as soon as somebody died in the hill, he jumps down and takes their spot. Like, it's just really good rotations coming out of Gravity right now, and I think Mythical Magnums is going to need to figure this out and figure out how to combat this, or they're going to come out with a loss in this first game.
I totally agree. I definitely see them a little slow on the rotation. They just need to work a little bit faster, get up to speed with it. Definitely need to control these power weapons. I don't know if anyone from Mythical Magnums yet got like an overshield or sniper in their hand. We do have Derp now with the sniper. See what he is able to do with it.
Yeah, but I like the setup Mythical Magnums has right now for the time being. It looks like Gravity's gonna break it and get their own little setup going here. But Hunden's putting in some good shots right above the hill here, so that's good on him. And it looks like Mythical Magnums, if they can push into the room, I'd like to see them get here a little bit faster, but if they can push into this room, they can hold this for the rest of this time, and they're gonna make this a game.
Right, I definitely see a switch over to Mythical Magnums kind of holding down this hill. This seems to be one of their strongest positions on the map. I've seen last week that or over scrims that this is something they feel comfortable locking down and holding.
Yep. Looks like they predicted that it was going to be that center room, but it ended up being the light room or red room, whatever you want to call it.
And we do
Look
have
at that.
another overshield pickup for Canadian Walrus on Gravity. And that was a huge jump and a huge play for Canadian Walrus.
Yep, for sure.
And we have a double.
Yeah,
Can we see the triple? He sees Lin. He tries to green gun him, but is unsuccessful. But he does knock his overshield out.
And a triple kill from Dirtman. Good play from Dirtman there. Gets the beat down, so that's 4 dead right now, temporarily for Gravity, but it looks like they're all going to come off spawn right here.
If I was Gravity, it would be really something to push as a team on this hill. With 4 dead, you want to definitely regroup on spawn and kind of have a coordinated push on this hill. And that's something I think that they are working on doing. But the hill would rotate. I do like how OG Snorch G-Fuel did get behind the person in the hill and pick up that sniper, but he is unfortunately taken out.
Yep, and that's okay, but Mythical Magnums has got to learn that they can't, like, somebody getting behind the person in the hill in that situation shouldn't happen if they have the correct setup. Like, there should be somebody up there watching that so they can't just jump in for free and get a back smack like OG Starch G Fuel just did. So I would like to see a little bit more polished setups coming out of Mythical Magnums. It doesn't feel, it feels like they're just a little bit slow getting their setup, and Gravity's just doing a little bit better job. You can see, like, all of them know exactly where they want to be.
What I want to know is if this is something just first game jitters. How warmed up were they before these matches? Are we going to see improved gameplay going on? I see a lot of shaky guns and kind of, you know, inconsistent shots. I don't know how warmed up these teams are. It is a very early game this morning. Probably some people are tired, some people are a little groggy. We are going to see the first overshield pickup, from what I've noticed, on Mythical Magnums by Goddess, so I'm going to turn it to her.
Yep, and she's just gonna, yep, and that's a perfect play with the OS. That's what the OS should be doing. The OS should be grabbing the power up, getting into the hill, letting her teammates surround her and cover her angles, so the enemy team can't get to her, and just keep her alive as possible. Yep. So right there is a perfect example of them getting a good setup and them taking advantage of that setup.
And she still stays alive. You know, she kind of resets her position, gets her shield back, and kind of goes back to defend the hill.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job. I want to see this next setup out of Mythical Magnums, but I think they've made a little bit of a comeback here.
This is going to be a very big hill for Mythical Magnums if they can maintain it, but they are unable to.
Yep, and they've just got to push back in as a unit and slay these guys out and get this hill for the last like 10 seconds, and they should be good.
I like the little ledge that Kratex was kind of on. He was pretty sneaky with that. And we have all 4 of Gravity in there trying to defend this hill.
Yeah, I'm still watching Goddess here, and Goddess is doing a really good job of coming in, getting a couple shots on whoever's in the hill, and then kind of just backing out and letting her team clean everything up. So she stayed alive quite a while there. Got a little greedy towards the end, but they got a little bit of that. They got that last 10 seconds of hill time there, so that's really good. And I want to see how these teams are going to set up.
Dab. He does have the sniper. I would like to see, you know, him kind of stay back more and take it from a more, you know, long range approach, especially with the sniper. You don't want to be in the hill. I know it's important to get the points, but definitely when you have a power weapon at play, you want to create that space so you can support your team, get them one shot, and have the rest of your team clean it up and finish it. Now we have 2 people on Gravity kind of just getting hill time.
Ooh, and the back smack on OS coming out of Hunden, and he picks up the double kill as well.
That was a huge back smack by Hunden, and that's definitely going to turn into some points. We do have 2 people from Gravity trying to put pressure, and they are going to get hill time.
Yeah, just enough hill time to keep their lead going into this next rotation on the hill. So not the worst play ever, and it looks like they have like an easier opportunity to set up here than Gravity does, but Gravity
it's gonna be a huge advantage for whoever gets the setup, and we do see Canadian Walrus trying to stay alive.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I think that they got a little overzealous. Mythical Magnums got a little overzealous and kind of just dropped down to the bottom area a little too quickly, and Gravity stayed up and had that height advantage and took advantage of that. So good job out of Gravity there. But Mythical Magnums needs to do something here because Gravity is ahead, and there's not a whole lot of game time left. Still plenty of time, but
this is a big hill. This could be the last hill. We definitely see a lot from Gravity trying to stay back, stay together, and just they're all in the hill.
And
they're all fighting out of it.
I think this is going to be a game going towards Gravity here. Yep.
It is going to be game 1 for Gravity. That was a very close game.
Yep, for sure. I think Gravity just played a little bit better, had better setups. I think they just moved a little bit faster to the newer hills. It always seemed like Mythical Magnums had the hill for the very end of that hill's life before the rotation happens. So, and then it was just a constant battle the whole time. But Gravity just came out on top. Ultimately because they just had the better setups. They outslayed. Their team shot looked really good. If you look at the stats here, 20 assists out of Canadian Walrus, 17 assists out of Venom, 16 assists out of OG Snort's G Fuel, and 17 assists out of Kratos or El Supreme Boss. So really good team shooting there. Really good slays. They just outplayed them in pretty much every aspect. I
definitely agree. There was definitely, I think early on they had a lot of momentum, and that momentum really carried them throughout that match. It was only a 25-point difference. You know, early on those points kind of added up every time. Like they were contesting the hill, getting the few couple seconds that adds up throughout the match, and that's really what sets the difference. But with game 1 in the books, let's move on to game 2, which is going to be a CTF on Truth.
Yeah, and this map, I feel it just depends on how they start this one. I know you guys have struggled with your opening strategy on this, or that being Gravity has struggled with their opening strategy on this one. I'm looking at the beginning of this game for Gravity to have at least 2 people push over towards pink side. I've seen a lot of them pushing car side at the beginning of the map and just getting rolled over on car side, and nobody being top middle or bottom middle in an advantageous position. But it looks like 2 people did come over here.
We had 2 people push for on both teams for that camo, and it looks like it's going to be a burn?
It was a burn. Yep. It looks like the camo got picked up fairly early around the lower 50s, 53, 54, but it was a burn. So much better start coming out of Gravity there, and I think they're going to be rewarded with the start of a flag run here.
Early on, very aggressive, going for a flag.
Yep.
Definitely had no one top mid to kind of finish up that carry, but we're going to see if someone can get there to keep that flag alive, and it is going to be Kratos just trying to get it over, or no, Venom, to get it over to the base.
Yeah, and I honestly I don't see how they don't come out of this with a flag cap.
We do have the push and counter cap down for Mythical Magnum. It's really going to come down. We have 2 dead on both sides.
Yep.
People are spawning, and it looks like they're not going to get over here on time. We have Goddess trying to make a single push, but I don't know how successful it's going to be.
Yeah, it looks like Goddess and Dirtman both came in. They didn't time it correctly. They didn't time their push correctly, and both just individually got taken out. Like, one thing to remember, though, for those watching, with our settings in Capture the Flag, it is time return. So it is not the traditional return style where you pile onto the flag and get the return. That's not how it works with our settings. We're trying to. I think the intention was to try to slow down the pace of CTF a little bit to make it feel a little bit more methodical. But big kills from Supreme Boss there to make it so his team could.
But a missed struggle by Canadian Walrus, but he has the nice short jump back up.
Yep, I think he's gonna be okay though. They're gonna.
But
go
it
for
will
the
be a
toss-up.
touch
Yep.
from Mythical Magnums. They are going to keep this flag alive, and we're going to be in the first standoff in the match. And we already have 3 people, 2 pushing on the flag carrier.
Keep in mind, Camo is up right now, and I think
Oh, that was a huge touch by Kratex for another cap. It just seems a bit of a miscommunication on Mythical Magnum, kind of who's going to do what and who's going to look where, and not very coordinated for like a counter pull.
But Epic Dab did come out with the camo here, but he's going to grab that flag and be spotted and just instantly get taken out. So this is really good game. Kratex takes an unlucky stick right there, but really good game coming out of Gravity right now. You can tell that they've worked on this map. Their opening strategy was much stronger than I've seen it in the past, and they are just abusing Mythical Magnums right now. They are just absolutely destroying.
Definitely like the pushes that Mythical Magnum is doing. They're definitely kind of pushing. They're getting to the other side. They're not getting, you know, any shots on the other side, and they're battling a lot at the base or just right outside the base, which unfortunately is just working out a little bit better for Gravity.
Yep. The game's not over yet, but Mythical Magnums is going to have to change up what they're doing here. They're just like... Gravity is just doing such a good job right now of getting the slays that they need to get, and then just getting the setup they need and getting the flagpoles they need. They're doing a really good job at every aspect of CTF right now, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from them.
We're gonna have another flag standoff. It's just very aggressive styles. I like how fast-paced this is going. Both teams kind of going at it back and forth, just flying right next to the base, just going forward. We're definitely seeing a lot of battles. It's really going to come down to their setups and their callouts. How well are they going to communicate together as a team?
Yep. Looks like Kratex is going to get this big touch here.
Is able to get the touch. I know,
he's going to go down. He's going to go down, but he did get the touch there.
But the team is going to spawn. I would like to see another touch here. Can Venom get this touch? Oh no, it's Kratex again. Still keeping, battling at the base. I like that they're working.
Yep.
One of the issues from last week was just, flag touch. Because it is that 15-second time return, it's very easy to want to drop the flag, not worry about it for some length of time. But as long as you have a team touching it, they can keep it alive and not get the return.
Yep. And Kratex is going to look at this camo here. It looks like he's going to have a battle with Epic Dab here, and he's going to get that burn. So I like the plays that Kratex is making. He's throwing his body at the right things, and he might be dying, but he's dying for a good cause, I guess you could say. So he's getting these little touches to keep the flag alive. He's getting the camo burns. Like he's doing a lot for his team right now, even though he's dying a little bit.
Definitely early on, we had the pressure by Gravity. I'm not seeing that same pressure continue on this map. Granted, they all are up by 3 flag kills, but if they get a little laid back, if they're not slaying as strong as they used to, that is going to affect them later on in this match.
Yeah, it definitely could. It looks like right now it's working out for them. Just kind of hanging in the middle of the map and pushing in when they're comfortable doing so. But Kratex is going to get a big kill on the flag carrier here.
But he is going to be taken out, and I don't see anyone really in position over on the Gravity side to put any pressure on this flag carrier. And they are dropping it for their ghost player to pick it up and kind of hold back, while the other players, the stronger players, are pushing in and putting pressure on Gravity. It seems that both teams is kind of going with that strategy, and it's really going to come down to who's going to get this map control, who's going to control the side bases and the spawns, and who is going to hold the other team's base the longest.
Yep. This looks like it's going to be a long stalemate, and in all honesty, it kind of favors Gravity in this situation because they started the game so strong. I think Mythical Magnums, it's their job right now to be aggressive. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think Gravity needs to be overly aggressive right now. They just need to wait. They need to get the slays, obviously, but they just need to stay alive, put shots on Mythical Magnums, and just.
And we do have a camo pickup from Hunden, but he is going to be seen by Kratex and backed off. This camo was supposed to be their big push for them to get this flag. But let's see what he's able to do.
He does stay alive with it. He does stay alive with it, so that's good. But Kratex spots him out again.
I would like to see more push from Mythical Magnums. You know, you have camo, you have someone in their base. Get, you know, 2 people, you know, running over there. Help the camo guy. Let him get a couple back smacks. He's baiting this flag very well.
Defend our carrier.
Yep.
But it is going to be a touch for Gravity, keeping it alive. That is a huge touch by Canadian Walrus. And it's still going to be taken alive. They have 2 people in their base, but they are able to keep it. They are literally fighting in their base. All they have to do is get all these players from Mythical Magnums out. Yep. No one is contesting the other base.
And they'll keep spawning right. They'll keep spawning right above them, or they'll keep spawning on one of the streets, and they're just gonna clean them out eventually. Like they know that they can just throw their bodies at that flag and keep spawning and just. And eventually clean them out. So
I'm very disappointed out of Mythical Magnums. They had the camo, they had a lot of pressure bottom their base, but they still allowed Gravity. I would have liked to see them, you know, open up those angles, take out players before they can get the touch. They still allowed the touch.
I would have liked to see them push forward and go and block spawns and control the spawns there, so they knew it, so they would know exactly where they were coming from. And in that scenario, you can just have everybody look at those spots, and just clean them up right off spawn instead of letting them spawn and get all the way to the flag every time. Standing, you know, when you have your whole team standing right next to the flag.
That Papa Venom was able to make a play on this flag. Got them down. He does have another teammate there. We will get a touch for them and another kill. But here comes Mythical Magnums to kind of protect their flag. A lot of time on this stalemate.
And that's what'll continue to happen. I really want to see these teams in those scenarios go for more methodical spawn traps and really try to predict where these guys are going to spawn from. Block all the spawns with the exception of 1, maybe 2, and go from there. That way you can control where they're going to be coming from.
Well, we get to see a reset here. We do have, and they do, and that's going to be the very first cap for Mythical Magnums. They are now on the board.
Ooh, and Hunden goes down there top mid, but look at this.
Mythical Magnums is pushing together. They are coming back with the flag. They're saying, hey, we don't need to stay in their base. We have no reason to fight. We need to come back with our flag carrier and make sure we get another flagpole and get it back to our base and protect it.
Yep, but Kratex is going to go for a sneaky flagpole, and he's going to overextend there and get Mythical Magnum's flag all the way back to his own base as well. So, but it looks like this could be bad for them if Mythical Magnums can continue to push with a little bit of intensity. But,
no, they do get the reset. They do answer back.
They committed a little bit too much there, and
I wonder if they thought because they had the strength and numbers from the last time with that big long stalemate that they had the confidence to, you know, really push up when they really should have played a little defensively and get their map positioning and angles more sound.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a guess and say that somebody let the flag sit, but I don't know for sure. I didn't see it on my screen, but that seemed a little odd because they had somebody back in the base when that return happened. So somebody, I just think somebody missed a touch there. Maybe they were trying to
communication, or they were trying to overextend too much.
Yep.
But it is going to be a return for Mythical Magnums. They will keep this game extended. But every time they get this, they're just going back and forth with these touches. They can't really get too much of, like, outside their base. No one can really bring it home. That's a huge kill by an epic dab to keep Kratex off it. And he will get this touch to keep it a return.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for Kratex there. I think the intention there was to have G Fuel and Kratex push at the same time, and G Fuel kind of just launched in from top middle a little too quickly there. and they both got cleaned up individually. So a little bit of miscommunication, but it's not a huge deal because they are up 4-1.
I do like this push from Gravity. 2 people jumped a window, and then we have another one going in from the side, just pushing in, and one trying to watch top mid.
Yep. It looks like Gravity's trying to go for the win here.
They are definitely wanting to put this game in the record books. They want to be done with it. They want to move on. They have the momentum. They want to carry this. This is something that Mythical Magnums needs to kind of go back, take a look at, review the game footage, and kind of see what went wrong.
Yep, and that's going to be it.
I am very interested to see what these stats are going to look like, because it looked like the slaves were heavily in Mythical Magnum's favor.
Yeah, I think that was the case. I'll have to take a look, but yeah, yeah, I would say Mythical Magnums outslayed by a little bit. Let's count it up here: 68, 91 out of Gravity, and then you have 67, 87. So 100. You have 100 out of You have 100 out of Mythical Magnums. So yeah, Mythical Magnums did outslay by 9 kills.
We have 40 kills done from Epic Dab. We have all double digits for assists for Mythical Magnum. It's just a shame that they could not convert those into flat caps.
Yeah, I think they were just getting the kills. They were getting a lot of free kills just on the other side, while the other team just kept throwing their body at the flag to get those flag touches. I think that's where a big chunk of the kills came. Because it was constantly Mythical Magnums pushing in there and just getting those really easy kills. So I don't think that really shows. Like the slays didn't matter too much in this particular map and game type. I think Gravity got the slays when they needed to, and they got the setups when they needed to. They did everything right. They pushed when they were supposed to.
They definitely set the pace of the game early on of how this is going to. How we want to play. This is our kind of setup. This is what is working for us. Let's keep doing this, and eventually we will wither them down and win. But we're moving on to our next game type and game mode, Magic Slayer. I want to see if Mythical Magnum's slaying power will definitely, put them back with a win in this game. And I'm going to go on with Epic Dab, who is pushing that railgun.
Yeah, but he's gonna get shot at by 2 of the Gravity players, and he is not going to come out with that railgun. I think Railgun's still sitting bottom mid, and he knows that.
He gets a full team wipe, and Dab is going back for that railgun, or looking for it. Not too much. I would like to have seen Dab, get the high ground and put shots from above, not kind of stay down low.
Yep, I think that's something that a lot of people are struggling with on this map. A lot of teams are struggling with that on this map. Really, the only team I've seen so far that's done a really good job when I've watched them play this map of staying up top and holding height advantage is Incantus so far. Every other team seems to really like that bottom area for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I would like to see more teams play up top, maintain that height advantage. I think that's going to work in their favor.
And we do have Dab with the railgun. Fortunately, wasn't able to convert the last kill on Canadian Walrus, but it is something he feels very comfortable with. It is one of his favorite weapons, something that definitely converts a lot of kills for him that he wants to control. I think a key aspect to this game is Gravity, getting those power-ups, getting those camos, and keeping the railgun away from Dab.
Yeah, for sure. Shutting down Dab is a big deal, and in general, shutting down the anchor player on the other team is always going to be a really good strategy.
And just to remind any viewers tuning in that we are balancing these teams. We have the anchor players, which are our stronger players, our fires, which are our medium tier players, and our ghosts, which are lower caliber players. So the teams are as balanced with 2 fires, 2 ghosts, and 2 anchors. And the next camo is up, and we're gonna see Goddess take it, but can she stay alive and make use of it? I'm going on with Goddess and see what she's able to clean up. Hopefully she's going to be able to bring Mythical Magnums back in the lead.
I like her going up top here. I would like to see her stay up top. Get back up there as soon as she can. Yep, good place from Goddess right now with the camo. She's killed it with this camo so far. I think she's already picked up 3 or 4 kills with this camo, and it's a tie game now. So really good camo grab from her. Really good plays with the camo so far, and it looks like she's gonna get this other kill too on a OG Source G Fuel. So really good play from her right now.
She definitely
I don't think she's
brought it back, and she still has some camo left. I like to see her get in a position to help Dave. And unfortunately, Dave is taken out. Can she clean up Walrus? No,
she's got 2 weak players right there. I'd like to see her call that out. She's still, yep, really good plays out of Goddess right now, staying alive there, letting Hunden come in and clean up those other 2 kills. Oh, but a shot through the cage, a lucky shot through the cage is going to kill her, which is really unfortunate because she worked so hard to get away there and got away, but...
that was a great play by Goddess. Yep. Very good use of the camo. And that's definitely what they need to continue to do to take this game away from Gravity.
Yep, for sure. And I'm still seeing a lot of the Mythical Magnum players sitting on the bottom of this map, and I don't like it.
I do see Hunden kind of setting up for this railgun, but the railgun's not going to be open up for another 10 seconds. He's not really helping his team too much. He's not really in position. Just a nade could take him out, but luckily it has worked out for Mythical Magnums. Just their map presence and how they're moving around. We're slowly seeing, you know, that lead whittle away and now extended for Mythical Magnums. Want to be on board with Papa Venom when he spawns to kind of see what kind of plays he's going to make off spawn and how he's going to help bring this back for his team. He had a player right there, but he did not see him, and he's trying to stay alive.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to look for this other player, but I think he's just gonna...
I would like to see him group up with his teammates and kind of not have these one-on-one fights, because it just seems like he's just going around the map and not really grouping with his team where they can't respond as quickly as they would like.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing a lot of that in the later part of this game. Mythical Magnums just finding somebody by themselves on the Gravity side, and I think Gravity needs to start moving around a little bit more as a team right now because they're all getting caught alone.
I agree. I definitely see a lot of the Mythical Magnums, you know, staying in one area, grouping up, and kind of responding to callouts and getting those team shots. And I don't see that same kind of teamwork happening on the Gravity side.
Yep, so a big 10 kill lead right now for Mythical Magnums here. I'm going to jump over to the point of view of... let's take a look at Epic Dab and see what he's going to do with this railgun in the last part of this game.
I like to see Dab make use of it and really kind of make a push that will close this out for his team and bring them the win.
Yep, for sure.
And a new railgun coming up soon. I definitely foresee Dab going for it and wanting to pick it up, but if there is no need, that is going to be game. And it is a much different score than early on. Definitely Mythical Magnums broke away and took this game.
Yeah, easily. For sure. It looks like they kind of just like got them into like I guess you could say a pseudo spawn trap at one point in the game and just started catching them and started catching Gravity by themselves a whole bunch there. And then Goddess had a really good performance there with 10 assists, 14 kills, only 10 deaths. Dab with 14 kills, only 7 deaths. Even Nola stepping up, their ghost player stepping up and going 14 and 10 with 6 assists. And then you have Hunden, kept his deaths low, kept his kills low, but had 14 assists out of Hunden. So I think everybody just did their part that game. The lower level players stepped up, and just a solid game out of Mythic there.
I like to say like their assists. You know, you have 14 assists from Hunden, 10 assists from Goddess, and you allowed an Epic Dab to set up, get the slays. Goddess stepped up, got the slays and the assists. A lot, stepping up from both the team captain and as well as Dab just putting his team on and carrying them with the slaves. We don't see the same amount of assists really from Gravity. I don't know if it was from miscommunication or what, or things just didn't really work out for them during the match. They were definitely trying to hold on, but about that midway point, they just kind of lost momentum and just didn't really go kill for kill or make any big plays to get their kills higher. They didn't make any major deaths, and it kind of shows in the stats.
Yep, for sure. I mean, we talked about it earlier. You know, we were calling it during the game. It kind of just looked like towards the end of that game, there just wasn't a lot of team shooting from Gravity, and there wasn't a lot of support for each other from Gravity, and you saw a lot of that. You saw a lot of 2v1s. You know, Mythical Magnums with 2 people going against 1 person and just shutting everybody down, and then immediately looking towards where they're spawning. And it just worked out for them. But we're gonna go into this next game, Strongholds on the rig, and I'll let you explain the rules for our Strongholds game type.
Very excited to do that. Our Strongholds variant, as long as you're controlling 1 base, you will be getting points. 2 bases, you will get 2 points. And, ooh, that is a bad drop on Kratex with the overshield, unfortunately. But as long as you have 1 base, and if you get trip cap, 3 bases, you will be receiving 3 points, and the other team with no points. So as long as you're holding 1 base, you will be getting 1 point. So really, these bases are going to be a major play. Also, it is very slow for a single cap. If you have 2 players in that base, it's going to move much faster, and you're going to capture it at an increased speed. Definitely advisable to get 2 people in that hill instead of just 1. And I definitely want to see a lot of rotations and teams getting the double caps on it. Right now we see Mythical Magnums, 2 people at BR base, and now they're rotating over to basement. Definitely only see 1 person on nest. Definitely need more players. Gravity needs to be faster on these hills, or they're going to lose it.
Yep, for sure. Like, I mean, with this particular mode of Strongholds, like, the best thing to do is just out-rotate the other team. Just clean up the kills on the way. You don't need to get a lot of kills. You don't really need to go for like a big round of slaying in this version of Strongholds. You really just need to work as an entire team. Because if you can jump into a base with all 4 team members, it's borderline an instant cap for that base. So if you're just rotating around with your team as a full team, and what StarCraft players will know as zerging. If you just zerg around to every base and just keep doing that, like, you're gonna come out on top in this game type. Zerging is definitely a legitimate strategy in this version of Strongholds.
Most definitely, this is going to be a very aggressive, fast-paced game. Oh man, Canadian tried to get that camo, but he's going to be taken out with some very nice shots from Goddess. Definitely shutting down any chance of them bringing that. Oh no, he didn't get the camo. He was early.
But look at this though. Like Gravity still with a momentary trip cap. I just heard it click, but I think they got taken out. I'm not 100% sure.
Definitely why they were kind of baiting that camo. They were letting Gravity get the caps, get the defenses, keep their hills. Yes, they were getting BR based, but very slowly. There's definitely a map presence that is there. They're not. Even right now, we have Dab looking at tower, not realizing someone is at BR base, and he is pushed back. He needs to stop this BR base right now. And he does it, but he is taken out. He definitely could have responded to that moment a lot faster and get help from his team.
I don't know what Mythical Magnums is doing right now. I keep seeing a lot of 1 person in a base at a time, and then just getting cleaned up, and I'm just seeing Gravity move around as a team, like much better than Mythical Magnums is right now. Like, you can tell that they're calling a base out. They're all moving to it regardless of whether it's the best base or not. They're all trusting each other. They're just saying, just freaking push this base, get there as fast as you can. Everybody flood into it, take it instantly, call it a day, and just keep doing it over and over again, and we're gonna come out on top. And and you're definitely seeing that right now.
Definitely Gravity wants to close this out. They probably were hoping to close it out from our last game, but unfortunately did not have the firepower to do it. They definitely wanted to come out strong this round and definitely make this series done. They don't want to bring this to a Game 5. They wanted to end this right now. And I see a lot of their plays, their teamwork and communication is definitely giving me that impression that they want to end this now.
Yep. Unfortunately, you're seeing Epic Dab get caught on by himself a lot. You're seeing multiple members of Mythical Magnums getting caught by themselves, whether it's in between bases or on a base, and Gravity is just punishing the heck out of it by just all pushing together. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody on Gravity without another member of the team with them this entire game. Like, they're doing a really good job.
We definitely need to see Mythical Magnums push in and take a base. They all spawned basement, but none of them really rushed it. They chose nest over basement, but we still only have one person capturing nest. Now they're taking BR base. They do get 2, so that did work out for them, but definitely some confusion on which base they want to take in the beginning.
Well, they could use this double cap to their advantage though, if they can play this right. And that's 3 dead right now for Gravity, but it looks like Camo Scattershot's gonna go in and just shut that down instantly.
Canadian Walrus with the camo.
So big. Yeah, huge play right there from Canadian Walrus. And it looks like he's gonna
and this
push
is what
another base.
I'm talking about, Savvy. Like, they saw them go basement and they immediately went to nest. That, hey, you can have our basement. We'll just take your nest. You have to keep fighting and rotating.
And look at this. They're just all jumping into the same base. Like, they're just like, I'm just gonna say, like, Gravity playing the way they are right now is 100% gonna come out on top in this game. I don't think there's any way that Mythical Magnums is gonna come back from
They gave up that nest and they chose for BR. But that is only to stop the bleeding with the 3 flag caps or 3 strongholds. I haven't really seen too much time, you know, and even right now, Venom and Kratos, they're going for BR base.
Yep. That's going to be a good trade there from both of them. Pop of Venom with a good trade on a dab there. But like I've said this already this game, but Gravity is just pushing as a team in a way that Mythical Magnums just isn't doing right now, and they're just destroying.
I would like to see more, you know, two players running together, getting these bases and rotating, while the other 2 focus on getting their angles, getting their helps, calling out the camo, getting the shotgun, not giving up this power weapon control. Like, they're all just flying to the next base. We have already everyone on Gravity, and now they're just going to soar basement, kind of defend that, fight out Mythical Magnums. We have Kratos with the scatter.
Good shots from Dirtman though to shut that down. So that's a big play from Dirtman on Pop of Venom there. Yeah, this momentum that Gravity's had this game is just out of this world, I guess you could say, you know.
And even though we definitely need to see a trip cap come out from Mythical Magnum, because even though they have 2 and they're holding it, they still got to maintain it, and they're still getting points for Gravity. The only way they can stop Gravity from getting a point right now is getting that trip cap.
Yep. But off stream, a big play from Dirtman on Mixer.
And right now, Hunden is making that happen. Hunden is trying to be leading that charge, saying, "Hey, let's control this."
Yep. They need to get it. Unfortunately, they put themselves into a position where they need a solid 20 seconds of trip cap time to make this a game. And with how this game type plays, that's just going to be really, really difficult. Because I think even if they grab 2 bases at this point, for the rest of the game, I don't think they'd actually win.
Right now, I know this Gravity, they're just, you know, they're not being as aggressive. They're just holding down maybe 1 or 2 bases, getting the points, because they know 1 point for Mythical Magnum is not going to bring them back into this game. They definitely need to be more aggressive.
at this point, all Gravity needs to do is play the trip cap defense and make sure that the Mythical Magnums doesn't get a lengthy trip cap, and they're gonna come out on top.
I definitely agree with you. And we do have the push from Mythical Magnums to try to stop this BR base. But that push was unsuccessful. Now we have Goddess trying to make something happen. A huge battle between G Fuel and Goddess. She's going to back off. But they're still holding down this BR base with 9 points left in this game. They need this trip cap.
Yeah, and they have to hold the trip cap for pretty much the rest of the game because otherwise this is
and
Gravity's going to
everyone's
come away
rushing
with
basement.
this.
That's
going
going
to be game. That's going to be game there.
Good game for Gravity.
Yep.
Definitely a lot for Mythical Magnums. I definitely see them, going back, reviewing, definitely coming out stronger next week.
Yep. I think Gravity just took their loss personal last week, and they practiced quite a bit this week, and I think it showed. It showed here for sure. They were incredibly aggressive in pretty much every game type, but it was fluid aggressive. It was a methodical aggressive.
I do want to point out what we've seen from the Slater when we had Mythical Magnums have double-digit assists for the whole team. And this map, that kind of reversed in Gravity's favor. Now we have Gravity with double-digit assists for everybody. So definitely Magic Slayer seems to be one of Gravity's weaker game types, or even maps. So that's definitely something they'll have to go back and practice on. But definitely something Mythical Magnums needs to regroup, not get discouraged, and come out stronger for next week.
Yep, for sure. I think, they just Mythical Magnums just needs to get a little bit more practice in, and I think they need to go in to these maps and do more than just run around and go over callouts. I think their practice just needs to get a little more specific and a little more detailed. Because I don't think the problem here is raw skill. You saw it in the Slayer game. Like, they're capable of getting the kills, and they're that last game didn't really show that, but they're capable of getting the kills. Like, they're all skilled players on this team.
Right.
I think I don't know if they have a game plan for common situations that come up in games.
It's definitely something they'll go back, probably review this week, do more scrims, maybe go over the map, go over how they want to approach different things, work with their coach, kind of come up with some kind of game plan for next week.
Yep.
For this week, we're going to have a 3-1 series by Gravity. Good games to both teams. Congratulations, Gravity, on your win. The next game is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern today, and that is going to be Interstellar versus Incantus. Another great series of games is going to be there, so definitely hit that like or follow or subscribe button, whatever's on Twitch, and definitely tune in tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern for Interstellar versus Incantus. Again, this is your host, Dark Reaper 1337, and my co-host, Savvy Beard. Thank you all for joining us.
Yep. Thanks, guys.